What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Malcolm Miller, and I'm back once again. And I'm here to talk about the Atlanta Falcons organization having some reservations about Julio Jones working out with Terrell Owens. Yes, I repeat, the Atlanta Falcons organization is having reservations about Julio Jones working out with Hall of Famer Terrell Owens, the second greatest wide receiver to ever play the game, statistically speaking. Period. And they mad that he working out with this man. They feel like he might get influenced. First of all, like, Julio is a grown man. If he is that much influenced by another grown man negatively, something wrong with him. He shouldn't be in the league if he's that much influenced. And I don't think Julio Jones will be even fazed by this. He's been in the league for a while now, been nothing but a consummate professional, been class personified. I'm still in the word from Stephen A. Class personified the whole entire way. So why should we even think that he's going to be influenced negatively by T.O.? You know what I mean? So I think that's crazy. And it's so stupid that they looking like, why? He's working with a Hall of Fame wide receiver. Like, you know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff that he can learn from that man and gain a lot of wisdom from him. On the field things, not off the field antics. And let's stop acting like T.O. was just a criminal. Like, he got in trouble on the field, not off the field. He got in trouble, not on the field. He got in trouble during games and stuff like that. Not like at home in his personal life, none of that crazy stuff. So let's not act like he's this big criminal that you shouldn't hang around. And for two, this is why T.O. feels the way he felt and doesn't want to come to that Hall of Fame induction ceremony. And a lot of people are saying he should go. He owes it to the other Hall of Famers that's been in the league. He's going to miss this tradition. He's going to be disrespecting a lot of other greats that came before him that were so honored to be brought into the Hall of Fame. Yes, it is an honor to be a Hall of Fame football player. But at the same time, why should I go up in there and be kissing the butts of all these dudes that didn't want me in the first place? They didn't want T.O. in the first place. They kept thinking of every excuse in the book not to let him in there. And I think that's absolutely preposterous. When you look at this boy's this man's numbers, and you see how he played on the field, he gave 125% every single time. The same Eagles organization he was busting his butt for when he came back from the injury to play in a Super Bowl and help propel them to a win over Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. Now they're gonna talk about, act like he just was this horrible teammate and this horrible person. Any dude that's going 125% every single game, you gotta love that. I'm a huge Randy Moss fan, and Randy even acknowledged that he took some games off during his career. T.O., I cannot say the same for that man. Even in that year in Cincinnati when he went over there with Chad, he had better statistics than Chad. And Chad was a much younger receiver and more, I guess, looked at as a hot commodity than T.O. T.O. was looked at as on the downside of his career, and he produced better than Chad, another one of my favorite receivers during that time. But this whole thing, acting like T.O. hanging with him as a crime, like, y'all gotta stop it. That's ridiculous. And by the way, that man at 44 years old ran a 4.45. That is absolutely ridiculous. That man on a whole nother level. That's crazy. Now, do I think he can still play in the league? I don't know, because I don't know if T.O. can still take them hits that he used to. I think it's been like 8 years since T.O. last played an NFL snap or a game. So I don't think his body will still be the same taking them type of hits. But nonetheless, the man is showing you why he was at the top of the pinnacle, the cream of the crop for so long, because of his work ethic and his conditioning, how he keeps his body great. So why wouldn't you want a guy like Julio Jones to be around him to know how to last long in his sport and to increase his longevity in a sport that a lot of guys retire from early? Julio is probably arguably the greatest wide receiver in the game right now. Why wouldn't you want him to pick up some few things from a Hall of Famer? He not going to be learning how to cuss people out on the sidelines and get into it with his coaches. He hasn't been doing it so far. What make y'all think this grown man is going to be triggered to do it now? Like, because he worked out with T.O.? Like, that sounds absolutely ridiculous, but it's that hate fest that's going on for T.O. right now that's been going on for the longest. He shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame because he was a team obliterator, and Skip Bayless's word, team obliterator, or he had all these on-the-field drama. He was a distraction. Listen, I'm looking at them numbers and the production. You can't argue with that. Any quarterback would want to have a guy that's going to go out there and give it 125% all the time and going to go out there and just be an animal and not even feel like no DB can do anything with him. And that's how T.O. felt his entire career. But This whole thing trying to act like he's just this horrible person that nobody should even be liking. And yes, people say T.O.'s bitter. Some people feel like he should get over it. Shannon Sharp is another person that feels like, you know, T.O.'s the type of person, if you wronged him once, he will never forgive you. And I somewhat agree with that, but I'm looking at it like this, man. These dudes, these guys in these higher up positions that voted, that were, you know, are on the voting committee for the Hall of Fame, they ain't for T.O. no way. They don't even like him. They try to do everything to keep him out of it. Like, and that's just so crazy to me that people try to come up with off the field things when this is an on the field type of ceremony. I mean, on the field type of club that you get into. This club is brought into this club based off numbers and production, not on if you were the best teammate in the world. Hell, it would have been a lot of guys that wouldn't be in it. If that's the case, a lot of wide receivers and players had trouble when they were playing. LT, Lawrence Taylor, one guy that had huge off-the-field issues. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, everybody still respected LT for what he was and what he did on the field. The same, I think, should be said for T.O. But people steady trying to find holes and loopholes in it to try to get him out of the Hall of Fame or don't want him in it. I just think it was just absolutely ridiculous when a lot of the some of the sports media was saying why they understand why he's not in it. Like, for real though, for real, if he don't get in, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people ain't gonna get in. You know what I mean? So I just think it's absolutely ridiculous. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that, you know, T.O. is still out here keeping his body in condition. But I'm glad that, you know, he doing what he want to do at this point. Why should I go up here and have to? Yes, if he want to thank his fans, he can. Look, we got social media. I'm talking to y'all right now from a screen on my phone. I can upload this to YouTube. He can thank his fans from there. He don't gotta go into the Hall of Fame speech to thank his fans and for stay supporting him and fighting hard for him to get into the Hall. He can do it from his Twitter page. He can do it from a YouTube channel. He can do it from a press conference, I think, and come into his front lawn. And I think still T.O. will still draw that type of traction to come and see what he has to say, because he's that magnifying. He has that attracting as a figure. Like, he is a sports figure that can draw camera crews. He's been able to do that his whole career, even when he's off the field. So he can thank his fans in another form. It don't got to be at the Hall of Fame ceremony. You know what I mean? So, hey, and they talking about it's going to be disrespectful to the legends. Why? They got their due diligence from, you know, playing in the league and getting voted in. They're not going to get no due diligence from T.O. being there and saluting and saying that he's happy to be in there. What due diligence do they get? What does that do for them? Nothing. Just making up an excuse why y'all want that.